Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Venture Starters. If you are a women founder and you would like to pitch tonight, please look for the reaction button and do the digital hand raise. You get into the queue based on that. You must be a woman founder. You cannot be a man. So I see Rajiv is trying to play women for the evening, but you're gonna have to hand raise. I only want women founders tonight.
Yay.
Awesome. And I see many, and we had over 100 people in the waiting room just to come into the event. So this is fantastic. I love when I see something like this happen so well. I was hoping this would be a success. All right.
How do I raise my
All of our
hand?
women founders and the men that want to support the women founders.
No, I'm not. I'm here.
I'm going to actually keep everybody on mute just so we can have a great event. It's easier when everybody's on mute, except for those that are going to pitch. We're already up to, looks like almost 30 people to pitch, which is great. So we will be able to actually have an event where we only have women founders pitch tonight, which is great. What I'd like to see happen is every 4 weeks we do this. And we build up the women founders in our community and give all of them the best shot possible by having this event once a month. So we will do this again. And if for some reason you don't get into the queue and can't pitch tonight, or you're in the queue and we run out of time, we will take a list of those that are remaining and we will invite you to come back to pitch 4 weeks from now. Next week, it's going to be for all industries, men and women. There's no, we're not trying to play any favorites, even with these theme events, but just highlight who we can. And then the following week, we are going to have a life science event again. So at least the current schedule is once a month, a women founders night, once a month, a life science night. The other two or 3, depending on the month and how all the dates work out of Wednesdays, they will be all industries. And we may make some changes as we go into spring and into summer, but at least just for the next month or so, I want to sort of keep the schedule so everybody kind of has an idea as to what we're doing. You'll have to check back with venturestarters.com to see the latest because all of the events will be there. Great to see that looks like we will have over 200 people in the room again pretty soon. So I just have a few quick announcements, especially to those who've never been to our community before. Welcome. It's great to have you. Those of you who don't know our rules, they're very simple. Just be nice, play nice. And I also want to add one more thing, be honest. Especially those of you who are the service providers that come to our event, please be honest and give reasonable expectations of what to expect if you're pitching our community and our founders. Real important. And I'd like us all to sort of self-police. So those of you who are watching what's going on in the chat, which I have no time to do, if anybody is spamming the chat or being too aggressive in the chat, please just, take it upon yourself to point it out to them. We're going to have to self-police everything when we have so many people that we're attending all these events. They're live events. They're open to the public. The other thing I want to point out is I don't know everybody that's here. So please be cautious and treat all of these connections that you meet with the same level of caution you would if you were meeting them at a trade show or in a bar or anywhere else. Just do that for me because I don't want to be liable or responsible for anything that may be a bad outcome. The good news is I've mostly heard just great feedback from everybody, good outcomes. People are meeting a lot of people. Doesn't necessarily mean that this event is working for all of you, but it is definitely working for many. So I just, about a week and a half ago, I think it was, we did a Saturday event where I expressed my opinion as to what you should be doing for fundraising. And I just want to give you an example of something that happened just in the last 5 days. One of the companies I'm affiliated with and on the board, and actually I was the first investor of, it's a company called Rain Ions. We finally got some quotes back late last week about what we needed to do with some tests. So I put an ad up on LinkedIn for an advisory board member also a chief financial officer role. And that ad went up on Friday. And basically in that ad, I asked for, people who can raise $500,000 quickly through personal connections that they have, not from pitching total strangers. So on Friday and over the weekend, I received an avalanche of applicants. And on Sunday, I started to actually do interviews. Not many, but I did take some time out to do a few interviews. One of those people, turns out, has a friend that theoretically is our investor. We'll see. But he then took it upon himself to set up a meeting with me and him and this investor this morning. And this gentleman, at least verbally, offered us $500,000 with terms that were a little stiff, and I'm not sure we'll be able to get to the finish line with them. But in 5 days, I was able to manifest by essentially advertising for somebody to join the team who personally knew investors, at least a verbal offer, and I have 25 meetings set up with more candidates coming up over the next week. You can do the same thing. If you don't know how to do that, circle back with me, and if you have a budget, I'll show you. Unfortunately, you have to pay LinkedIn and the machine for the ads. There's no way of doing it. They have a free ad, but it won't work for long and won't help you out. But I just want to point out that this model keeps working for me, and I know it can work for many of you as well. So, and I definitely would like to see if some of you might be interested in collaborating with me on that model. All right, so now that let's see who we have here. Oh, we're over 200. Fantastic. You guys are amazing. All right. So I would like to get started here with the founders. Since we have so many founders tonight, I'm going to not do the questions between each pitch. Otherwise, there's no way we're going to be able to get to everybody. So I do apologize to those in the audience that like me to ask questions of the founders. So the way that you're going to be able to hook up with everybody, especially if you're new, and to ask those questions is essentially through the chat. Please do that through the chat. And if you haven't opened up the chat yet, please do. And I think it's time that we just get started. And the first in the queue is Uppaline. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name.
No worries.
If I mispronounce any names tonight, please understand, not intentional. Please take the stage. You're the first to get us started.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mark, for hosting this. So my name is Apolline. I'm the founder of Capella, and I'd like to talk to you about an innovative solution tonight. So did you know that over 99.9% of new parents would pay a ton of money to solve their worries and sleep deprivation and make sure their baby develops optimally? And businesses in the baby tech space, meaning smart baby monitors, smart baby devices, etc., can't solve this problem because they haven't developed tools to support the parent-infant communication. Capella is a SaaS company that partners with smart baby device companies to integrate AI that can translate your baby's needs and play smart sounds to soothe your baby while you rest. So essentially, we're a baby cry translator with additional features. But this doesn't just speak to the 2 billion baby monitor market or even the bigger, broader baby tech market. We will also use our sound technology to help other verticals. Our engineers on the team are from MIT, Stanford, and Berkeley. We are backed by Techstars and have some nice traction items. So please reach out to me if you're interested to have a follow-on discussion. You can find me on LinkedIn, and I'll put my email in the chat. See you soon, and thank you so much for listening.
Oh, perfect pitch. Thank you so much. Up next is Jita.
She's on mute, probably.
Yes, that's what's happening.
Sorry about that. I was saying thank you so much, Mark. This is my second time pitching, and I am a big fan already. So my name is Kitty Peterson, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Genomic Expression. We have developed an RNA platform for next generation cures because by analyzing RNA, you can detect disease, monitor health, and design the next generation cures. And we are operating as a commercial diagnostic company north of Boston, fully licensed. And we doubled revenue year over year for the last 3 years. aggregating more than 4 million in revenue. I started the company with my brother who has a PhD in genetics. I'm the closet geek. I have a degree in chemical engineering and a business degree. And we got inspired by the frustration of having family members, our parents, diagnosed with cancer and facing what we call evidence-based death on the standard of care. We have assembled a very strong management team from innovators that have been there, done that, from idea in immune oncology, big data, AI, genomics tools and diagnostics to exit and IPOs. And so to capture the essence of the problem, 50 to 80% of patients do not respond to standard of care. And when they don't respond, they have access to DNA panels. DNA is not very effective and can only improve outcome for 8% of those patients. RNA is much more informative, but very difficult to analyze because it's not stable. We have solved this issue, and we have solved the issue of translating 3 GB of data into clinical action using proprietary algorithms and databases. So because we're not using panels, but uniquely identifying and quantifying all messenger RNAs, we find life-saving solutions for all cancer patients. We have anecdotal outcome data to prove that, which we have published. And we can envision a future where we will develop a customized mRNA vaccine based on our data to cure patients using immune oncology. We got to where we are mostly for grants, 6.7 million and plus 4 million in revenue, 1.7 in convertible notes. We filed very broad patents, got feedback that it's novel. And I'm raising a Series A and also opened a bridge led by Harvard Business Angels. So you can contact me. I put in my LinkedIn address. And I'm also going to change my name to my email address so you can contact me there. Thank you.
Thank you. And you make an excellent point. For those of you that want to maximize your networking ability, there's 3 dots on your image. If you click on it, there's something called rename. You can then add your email address after your name if you'd like that to appear, so that people can just see how to reach out to you, especially on a night like tonight where we're not going to have time for Q&A between each of the founders. And thank you very much for the pitch. Up next is Joan.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm Joan Stern, President and CEO of Meduloc. We're a pre-revenue medical device company. We've developed a platform of minimally invasive intramedullary or internal to the bone implants for the treatment of small long bone fractures. And those are hands, feet, clavicle, radius and ulna in your forearm, and the fibula in your lower leg. We're looking to reduce complications and improve outcomes. We've got lots of accomplishments to date on the one you've already raised, and I'm currently raising a $1.8 million seed round to get through 510(k) clearance to get on market and start generating revenue. This idea was started by an orthopedic surgeon, and because he saw so many issues around the current solutions of K-wires, plates and screws, and an IM or intramedullary internal to the bone solution already out there. With K-wires, they actually stick out of the patient's skin, they move around, they're not stable, can cause infections. Plates and screws are huge and bulky. You can imagine on your hand or on your clavicle, there's not a lot of skin there, so they don't look or feel good under the skin. They're often taken out because of that. And the IM or intramedullary nails already on the market, they have to go through the knuckle to get to the affected bone, so thereby causing trauma to the joint, which can lead to arthritis and other complications like chronic pain. So we've come up with a new solution that we think is superior to everything on the market today. We offer a line of implants that can accommodate all those bones that I mentioned. And there's actually, during the procedure, it is cut off to size. So there's no measuring the surgeon needs to do. It can't be too short or too long for the patient. And it really reduces the SKUs or inventory for the facility. Provides excellent rotational control during the procedure to set that fracture just right, and it's really stable, unlike those K-wires. A really small incision unlike those plates and screws, and you don't have to mess up an otherwise healthy joint to get the implant in. And your patients, therefore, can really get back to regular life sooner. I was talking to a surgeon earlier today who said he takes care of the University of Colorado football team. His patients, he's a hand surgeon, they break a hand, they're actually back to practice right away with an intramedullary implant, not ours, but one that's already on the market, and ours is superior. We have great opportunity in the US and outside the US. Our TAM estimated for 2024 is 1.4 billion just in the US, 370 million of those that we can serve, and our 5-year projection is 75 million for Assam. So great opportunities. All our accomplishments, we are design stable. We're super confident in our design because we've had hundreds of customer or surgeon interviews. We've done labs, cadaveric labs, to show proof of concept that it does work as designed. We've also done bench testing just on the device itself. We've already got patents issued in the US and Australia and Japan. We've got several others published and pending in Europe and Canada, as well as more in the US and Australia. Great margin, we'll make money on this, 8% margin on our instrument kit, which is single use only. So it's a great driver for continued sales. As it is class 2, we need to be 510K cleared. We've had our pre-submission meeting already with the FDA, so we know exactly what we need to do and feel sure that our plan to get us to submission within 9 months of funding is exactly what we need to do. And we'll know how to get reimbursed, super important for medical devices. We think we could be attractive to multiple types of strategic companies, big ones like Stryker and Smith & Nephew that just buy people up to extend their lines, smaller ones that want to dominate in extremities, for instance, or ones that just want to differentiate. We've set ourselves up well for any kind of deal. So that is our ultimate goal, is to achieve an exit. We have a great team that's poised and ready to go when the funding comes in. So we have already gotten just shy of 500,000 funding on an earlier raise. So this raise of 1.8 million will get us through 510K clearance and on market in 12 to 15 months. And with that, sorry about the breakneck speed, but hopefully you've gotten something out of that, and I will put my details in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you, Joan. Hold on, I'm just going to mute everybody real quick. So please, everybody try and stay on mute so we can have a perfect event for all of us going forward. Up next is Ramya. Again, I apologize if I don't have your name right. Please tell us. You're on mute, or we're just not hearing you for whatever reason.
Hi.
Okay, I think we heard something. Hopefully that was you. Go ahead, try again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we're good now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, Mark, and sorry about that. Yeah, I'm here for the second time, and thank you very much for the opportunity. So like when pandemic stuck, like all of the mothers, I struggled to engage my son in meaningful screen-free time. I thought I could do a little bit more than what's existing in the market, which gave me this designing of this educational games and puzzles, like everyday things, like from food, road signs, fabrics, tools, weather, etc. All of them are sustainably made. We started this company in 2021. Our first product was launched in around September 2021. So far our sales was like close to 100K, and then everything was bootstrapped. We have not explored much of the retail, so we have only tried in online marketplaces like Amazon.com and Walmart.com. There is so much more potential opportunity, so we can still explore the retail. And these are also a great interest of educational market, which I didn't intend to. So we figured out how we can take to educational market with the help of funding. We should be able to achieve that. Yeah. So yeah, that is it pretty much. And we actually partnered with the retail distribution this month. We are expecting more orders. We are definitely on the growth path for this year.
Great. Well, thank you very much for pitching. And thanks for making it short. I want to point out we still have 41 people that would like to pitch tonight. So if all of you founders can try and just keep your pitch to 2 minutes or shorter. You can always follow up with people in the chat. You don't have to sell them on every detail of your deal, just make sure that we understand what industry you're in and what you're trying to do, so that at a high level, investors especially who are interested in these sectors will reach out to you to find out information and get your deck. Thank you, Ramya. Appreciate it. Up next is Kaylee.
Hi, my name is Callie Taub.
Allie, sorry, I've done that twice in a row. My apologies.
You're fine. It's okay. I'm not eating yet, but I will be eating soon. So please don't bring the mic and camera back to me in a little bit, because it's like around dinner time for my kids. Okay. These last week he called me out for eating my pizza. Anyway, so I have an agency. I'm an equity marketing partner. My business is called Unpreserved. We represent different brands and concepts as well as movements around the globe. Right now, we're equity partners of Stability, which is a mental health care and mental fitness app in the iOS market. And we're looking for partners. So if you're in pediatric neurology, psychiatry, psychology, pharmacology, or in behavioral therapy, I would love to talk to you. We are building out a podcast and would like to explore different people to interview. We also have a client from Israel that is a hair care brand, and we have our own internal portfolio of brands. We launch brands and we help them get exposure through international channels as well as distribution partners. We can help you go into Whole Foods, Costco, Sam's Club, Big Lots, as well as Macy's and the Federated Stores. If you need help, we are here to speak to you. Please feel free to reach out to me at unpreserved@gmail.com or book me through my LinkedIn on Calendly. And with that, I hope everyone enjoys and has a snack with me. Take care.
Good one. Okay. Up next is Cecilia.
Hi, thanks so much, Mark. So my name is Cecilia Han, and I'm the founder of Coder, an after-school coding studio for kids. So our big bet is that kids need to learn to code to remain competitive in this world. Fun fact, since 2000, about 52% of Fortune 500 companies have either gone bankrupt, been acquired, or ceased to exist. We actually see this happening before our very eyes with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is disrupting one of the most impressive technology companies of our time. So what is the problem? Well, if we know that kids need to learn to code, public schools are providing a basic foundation, but it's just not enough, right? When we think about it, we think about a teacher with 30 kids, there's no way that they can provide the level of attention kids need in order to master this skill. But also, coding is prioritized starting in high school, but we know our youngest learners, our 3-year-olds, can start to understand fundamental concepts such as loops and sequences. So what's the solution? Coder, an after-school coding studio for kids, grades K through 8, so focus on our youngest learners. We offer a self-paced and tutor-guided curriculum with a 1-to-4 tutor ratio, and offer beginner to advanced curriculum, such as machine learning, AI, cryptography. Yes, our 10-year-olds are learning Caesar ciphers, and they have a blast doing so, as well as compete in national and global competitions. So sounds amazing, right? This is something that it's very, very passionate about. It is a social impact, but the fun part is also there's amazing potential revenue as well. There's about 16 million kids in the right age group with the right disposable income, and then also who participate in after school activities today. Our annual recurring revenue is about $2,200 per student, which gives us a $35 billion annual recurring revenue potential. If this sounds interesting to you, let's chat. I'm looking for a partner to invest $1.7 million in Coder for 30% equity and revenue sharing starting in year 3. Thanks so much.
Great. Nice pitch. Up next is Kathy.
Thank you, Mark. I'm Kathleen Erickson, and I'm a problem solver. For humanity, I'm creating a culture of inclusivity and equality. For everyone who says, I want to golf now, I've created an indoor golf course that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. For anyone who needs accessible accommodations, I've developed a universal design sports venue. For investors who desire to find the unicorn that will bring a great return, I have formulated a financial model to give them what they desire. The Short Game Place is an indoor par 2 golf course. It plays like real outdoor golf courses. It's absolutely nothing simulated. 70% of golf is the short game. This course is all short game with 10 to 40-yard holes, chip over water, out of bunkers, and even over trees. For our future, I'm using golf to create a world that's committed to virtue and ethics. There's no other sport that requires you to be your own referee. I'm Kathleen Erickson. I'm the founder of the Short Game Place, and I'm looking for a who, someone who sees my vision and has the desire to be a part of creating this company by helping us find funding. Kathleen Erickson at the Short Game Place. Thank you, Mark.
My pleasure. By the way, I've seen Kathy's images of the indoor facilities are really neat. So any of you who are into golf, you may want to check this out. Thanks, Kathy. Up next is Leslie.
Up there. All right. Hi there. My name is Leslie Sheridan, and I'm the founder of Planet Sense. And I've got a question. What is in common with 68.5 million global climate refugees in 2017 and growing since, and sustainable products and services? Well, let me tell you, we are going to be the global green alternative to Amazon with both sustainable products and services. So everybody's looking around right now. There's no one place where you can get these, and we intend to be that one place. Consumers and organizations are having a hard time finding sustainable products in one place. And additionally, organizations are faced with a different challenge because they, for many, many years, have gotten away with greenwashing, and they're realizing the gig is up. Many millennials and Gen Zers are saying, not on our watch. And they are putting their feet to the fire. And so companies right now, they're saying, what do we do? How do we replace greenwashing? So what we allow them to do is we allow them to utilize our marketplace as an employee benefit, as an employee consumer partner supplier incentive, recognition, reward tool. So what this does for them is not only help them increase their sustainable purchasing, but what it also does is it makes them look good to consumers, employees, investors, shareholders, partners, and suppliers. This is an attraction and retention problem for them, and it's an attraction and retention tool. So they share it, all those people share it, and all those people share it. And next thing you know, you have a world scale reversal of climate change. We are Planet Sense, that's PLANET, sense like the coins.us. And if you'd like to talk, I'm looking for a CEO. I'm also looking for advisors, and let's change the planet together and have a sustainable future.
Thanks, Leslie. Okay, up next is Tina.
Hi, Mark. Thank you so much. This is my second time as well pitching at this forum. So yes, my name is Tina Karunaratna, and I am the founder of Karuna Integrated Clinical Services, which is a niche CRO. I'm a nurse by training, and I worked in healthcare and the life sciences for about 20 years, and working especially for both biotech and pharma companies. I have founded Karuna Integrated Clinical Services on the premise that we will offer a niche service of clinical trials. We will also partner with a sponsor in addition to offer clinical operations strategy, vendor identification and selection, and program and portfolio management. Karuna Integrated Clinical Services is led by all women who have worked in the biotech pharma space and collectively have over 100 years of experience. We came together to change the status quo at the end of the spectrum in terms of the CRO space, and are looking for synergistic partners and investors to invest in this niche CRO. So thank you for your time. My email is at the bottom, and I've also put it in the chat, and I would love to hear from any one of you that's interested in investing as well as partnering with us. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Tina. Appreciate the pitch. Up next is Lynn.
Hi, thank you, Mark. Lynn Donaldson from Connected Strategic Solutions Group, and I have been in the pharmaceutical and medical devices industry the whole of my life. And I started a company, should I say. I'm the founder and CEO of Connected, and I started this company in 2012. And the reason I started this company is because, did you know that 67% of pharmaceutical products fail to reach their sales targets at launch? And 20% of medical devices fail to reach their sales targets at launch. That's a phenomenal amount. So I pull together the consultants that can help products be launched effectively. And we actually helped one company achieve $1.3 billion extra at launch for their sales revenue. And we do that by using three framework of pillars: people, product, and process. The people side is I provide executive coaching to help the leadership team stay to peak performance when you're doing a product launch, because product launch is really, really stressful. Then the product is the product strategy, and our consultants work with you 24, 48 months before launch to help you get the product launched effectively. You want that $1.3 billion extra in launch, don't you, at revenue in launch? And then the process side, during the product launch consulting, we realized that people were using Excel sheets and they were going unwieldy and cumbersome, and nobody knew where any information was. So my good friend Rajiv Jadhav, who's also on the Venture Starters tonight, and I decided to partner together to develop a SaaS tool. And that SaaS tool is a strategy builder, and it helps you while you're building that product strategy. And we're looking for potentially $1 million in funding for the SaaS tool. Connect Strategic Solutions is self-funded, but the SaaS tool, we're looking for extra money to help developers into the phase 2 and help with promotion and branding. Lynn Donaldson from Connect Strategic Solutions Group. I'm your pharmaceutical and medical devices expert. I've been in it the whole of my life, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. I also want to say, I hope we have time, I'd like to have Professor Dave at the very end of our program quickly do what he's prepared for, which is essentially talk about the analysis of your competitors. So please stick around if you can. He's going to put that together at the end. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier. Up next is Stephanie. You're in the queue. There we go.
Perfect. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. And I hope you can see me as well. All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Great to see all the women founders here tonight. Hi, I'm Stephanie Lindstrom with Rejuvenation Technologies. We're a venture-backed biotech company utilizing stem cell therapies to address aging and age-related diseases. Telomeres are the most fundamental aging clock, and when they become critically short, it can lead to age-related decline, dysfunction, and disease. Our founders at Stanford University have developed a novel drug that uses the same mechanism as stem cells use to reverse years of telomere shortening with a single dose. Our drug is precise, fast-acting, and transient, specifically for safety issues. 3 out of 4 Americans suffer from one or more serious age-related diseases or chronic diseases, and over half of disease and disability burden is age-related worldwide, with no cures for any of these diseases. Using our mRNA therapeutics, we can reverse the aging mechanisms to treat multiple therapeutic indications. Our founders have over 20 years of deep expertise in mRNA therapeutics, its delivery technology, and a proven ability to execute. Our experienced and agile team consists of biotech veterans, world leaders in FDA, pharma, and clinical trials to advance our efforts. Our first indication is a fatal age-related disease termed as short telomere-related pulmonary fibrosis. It affects over 150,000 Americans with a median survival of 3 to 5 years. It's a nasty and a progressive disease, and the only cure currently is lung transplant. In the gold standard mouse model of IPF, which is idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, our drug is strongly effective in treating the primary endpoints used in human clinical trials. Our initial go-to-market strategy starts with our lead candidate for IPF. We're the first to develop a safe drug that works efficaciously in vivo to increase mouse survival by over 100%, improve organ function, and reduce fibrosis. Our current timeline includes FDA approval, starting with the fatal diseases, which is pulmonary fibrosis and liver cirrhosis. And then we treat other age-related diseases. We're on track for IND-enabling toxicology studies, and we plan our first in-human trials in 2024 and aim to IPO in 2025 at $1 billion plus. Our current ask is we have an open safe round. We have about 1.3 million available, 48 million cap and a 5% discount. We're planning to launch our Series A round in Q2 of this year. So it's coming up. It's a unique opportunity for you to join us. So if you want to extend your future, come talk to us. Thank you. And my information is in the chat. Thank you, Mark and everyone.
Thank you, Stephanie. It's really interesting sounding. Looking forward to learning more about it. Up next is Meta. You're still on mute, Meta, just to let you know.
Got it.
Go.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks again, Mark. Just real brief. I've just been very excited with the chat and also just the opportunities that have been presented here, still trying to work through all those. But my focus is on generating opportunities through my media platform that's going to help build my veteran development and community outreach. So as far as where I am and what I'm looking to do, my organization, Veterans Entrepreneurial Development Initiatives, is focused on creating business opportunities for our veterans so that they can increase their job creation model and help to reduce unemployment within the veteran space. And what I'm doing on the for-profit side through my media platform, Influence Dakota, is to provide outlets for organizations in many cases that need to have their packages developed and put into a scenario that it becomes more attractive to potential sponsors, et cetera. So that's where my overall space is. We don't have the pre-seed and all that kind of stuff. We're really looking for like that low-hanging fruit, those interorganizational partnerships, and just helping to raise all boats so that we can address many of the aspects that are occurring in our communities, particularly for us within the veteran space, the increase in the suicides, the medical debt, also the health challenges, diabetes, kidney disease, and things like that, which are also impacting communities of color. So I've kind of put my information in the chat. This is great for the women founders, but I'm also a caregiver, so I'm not really sure how long I'm going to be able to participate, but it's always great to see everyone, meet new faces, and then just to collaborate so that we can get a lot of things done on the ground level in the community. So with all that, I thank you so much. Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome, and thank you, Meta. Up next is Anita.
Good afternoon, Mark and everyone. I'm Anita Darden-Gardine, and I am the founder and CEO of Omniva. Like many women, I was an executive in my career in Silicon Valley, and I left. My engineering husband's company was acquired for $3.25 billion. His job was to make the tech work, but I stayed home to provide that care. When we went out to market with our consumer platform, in which we connected families to FBI background check care, we were impressed and amazed that Intel came to us, as did Microsoft and other companies, and asked us to rebuild our technology so that they could offer it as an employer-provided benefit to their employees. You can imagine our excitement to fast forward and not only have a patent for creating trust in the in-home care space, but have signed contracts allowing us access to over 600,000 employees led by Microsoft. Blessed to have done a pilot with Microsoft with their employees. You can see behind me, we identified all the services a family needed to go to work. Whether you're a Gen Zer or a baby boomer, you may need elder care, you may need a special needs care or infant and child. Even before COVID, we all knew that women and men have been impacted by their ability to do their work at the office and also manage what they needed to do it at home. So from Omniva, we bring a single technology platform, enterprise grade, GDPR compliant, in which you can see a video of a caregiver and you can see all their verified credentials. You'll know, Microsoft knows that that employee, if they provide infant care, has first aid for infants, CPR for infants, and that living FBI background check. So we mitigate the risk for them so that they can conduct business with us. Imagine our surprise when we had not only the Biden administration, but hospital groups come to us and say, well, you can help us with our case managers. Those drivers who help Microsoft employees drive their moms to elder care appointments can also help us get folks from the hospital when it's time to release them for the trip home. Again, they have living FBI background checks and comply with all the standards to deliver the care. Moreover, we know that those case managers could have the right home healthcare aides show up at a customer's prem, at a patient's prem, and provide the care. If you need wound management, wouldn't it be great to see, again, the verified credentials and skills of a particular caregiver and a video before they were dispatched out to that consumer's home. So that's what we do with the Omniva Concierge Care platform. We have traction, we have first revenues, we distribute through multiple channels, an insurance partner, direct sales, and to large companies through our signed contract with our partner, Passport Unlimited. I've raised $5 million, have a commitment of $20 million in a price round, thanks to one of the University of California systems, whose accelerator we're joining. I am seeking a $500K note investment on a $20 million cap. Would love to talk about that with folks who can also join as advisors, along with a pretty impressive team, again, started by Wilson, Sonsini, and Cooley. I'm Anita Gardine. My contact information is here, and I'd love to grow my business with the right partners. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and Rich for Heibner for creating the connection. Thank you.
That was a great pitch, and I enjoyed hearing it. Like to learn more. Up next is Julia.
Hello. Can you hear?
Hello.
Hello. All right. So I'm working on developing a technology that detects early signs of pain in horses. So far I am primarily looking for somebody to help me build a team and bring capital, seed capital to the company. I have identified a couple of solutions on the fastest way to get a prototype, the most cost-effective way. And I've actually also started the patent process for patenting the idea. It looks like I will be able to get a patent on the idea. So that's what I'm working on as well.
Okay, Julia, meet Julie in the chat if you're interested. I've actually looked at this and there's a lot to explore. Thank you very much. Up next is Beta.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bita Sofori. I'm the founder of Gigo Clean Technology. Gigo Clean is an application that connects cleaners to consumers directly by zip code. I used to work for corporate America, and for me, finding a cleaner when I need a cleaner has always been a challenge. So I came with an idea that what if I create an application and offer on-demand services. So Gigo Clean application is now available in Southern California to download. We have a great team of advisory board. And at this point, we are seeking $1.25 million to expand the business to all areas in California. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. I put my information on the chat. I'll be happy to answer any questions. In the meantime, download the app.
Perfect short pitch. Love it. Thank you, Beta. Up next, Helen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Helen. My company, I'm the founder of RApps. RApps is solving a problem in an untapped market that's multiple billion, over $1 billion industry with a multi-million-dollar problem. For the last 2.5 years, I've been building credibility with food truck businesses in multiple Facebook groups. And coaching and learning from other food truck owners. The reason why this is so important part of my story is because the admins of these groups are leaders in the industry, and now they've recently signed on as channel partners for RApps. So I'm sure you're also wondering who I am. I absolutely love meeting new people. Hi, everybody. But I also love solving problems. I had a successful career in sales and business development, and then worked for several years as a consultant to help multi-million-dollar healthcare companies research specific markets and then determine if there was a need for their solution before spending millions of dollars on creating and redesigning new medical implants or devices. I've taken that experience and knowledge along with everything that I've learned from great mentors along the way that I was privileged to work with, and I applied that research knowledge and researched this industry and now we've created an affordable technology for small business owners in rural areas to have their own mobile app. We've created a software that creates customized mobile apps in both native iOS and Android. Along the journey and during the MVP, we realized very quickly the number of subscribers were significantly higher for mobile businesses were food trucks. Our apps now will give food truck owners the competitive advantage. The software is completed, we just launched, and we're giving food truck owners the ability to have an even playing field in the food and beverage industry. Our apps is pre-seed. We're looking for just one more investor now to come in during this pre-seed round for 150K for only 10 and we'll be awarding you 10% to help us solve this problem. We just need one smart investor like you to take a chance and invest to help our apps in our mission to provide affordable technology to mobile businesses in rural areas, because every American deserves the right to achieve their dreams. And just to give back to the group real quick, and I know that was kind of scripted, but I went freestyle before. I don't think it was as good. Cecilia and Julia pitched earlier. I think I can help you both out and make some connections for you. I'm going to hit my LinkedIn in the chat now. Thanks, everybody.
Great. Thanks very much. Up next is Jessica.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Breed. Thank you for having me. The pitches have been amazing. I love everyone's projects that they're working on. So I am the founder of Travel. We are the home of AI travel survey. So the way travel works is you design a trip with a survey. We're leveraging really amazing boutique platforms behind the scenes, and we're partnering with the futurist. With Travel, we are currently raising $500,000 to kick off. We have a discounted partner to build the platform, so we don't need a ton of money, but just enough funds to get launched. And I will drop my LinkedIn information in as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Up next is Susan.
Hi, thank you, Mark, for having me. And I am the rainmaker. Clients hire me to rescue their businesses from imminent collapse. I am a business consultant, advisor, and your CFO. So if you are looking to double your income, here is an example where I took a company with 80 employees to 200 employees in 1 year, no systems, no nothing, no financial forecasting, no revenue flow, $8 million in receivables. And in 8 weeks, I brought in $1 million in cash received, and the remaining $5 million in cash received within the year. So my information is in the chat. Please reach out to me. I'd love to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Up next is Ellie.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Ellie Rustling here in Rochester, New York. Thank you so much for pulling this community together. And I'd just like to compliment all of the investors that are here today, because typically female founders start with half the capital and deliver even better results. Micro Era Power is working in the energy storage space, specifically thermal energy storage. And why does this matter? Because overall, buildings consume about 40% of all energy, and half of that goes to meeting thermal loads. So people talk about decarbonizing, but we won't be able to get there without really cost-effective energy storage. What we're bringing to the table is some very strong innovation, which is patented for thermal energy storage, which is tunable. I'm happy to share the details in a separate conversation, but even as recently as last week down at Oak Ridge National Lab, their scientists were drooling over the technology that we have developed. Last year, we finished proving that at lab scale. We're now in conversation with utility pilots, with big real estate developers for pilots there. And we have about $2 million of grant funding in the pipeline from US Department of Energy and NYSERDA. So we're launching our bridge round to have working capital, cost share. Happy to talk about what we're doing. I'll put my information in the chat. It's just, this is a go big or go home moment. So really welcome those conversations. Thank you.
Interesting. I would like to actually get your deck. So if somebody on my team can arrange to connect with Ellie, that would be great. All right. Up next is Eli.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, my name is Eli Hilleman, and I would like to offer actually two separate opportunities, both in the manufacturing industry. So think about this. When a family goes to Disney, how many of you go and buy a souvenir? Because when there are occasions like birthdays or Christmas, how many little girls ask for a Barbie or a Barbie dress or a princess dress? You know, this demand creates opportunities for their suppliers. And we are one of the lucky suppliers who was able to get a contract. So we have to scale fast. We have been in operation since 2019. And with a recent contract with these big brands, we are looking for somebody who can inject cash and leave the hard labor to us. We will give you a seat at the table so you can influence business decisions and would be able to closely monitor your investment. So we are seeking 330,000 via SAFE with 3 million cap or a loan with warrant. So if you'd like to be in the driver's seat, please contact me, info@zelza.net. I will also drop my LinkedIn profile in the chat.
Thank you very much. Up next is Dr. Crystal.
Hi, Mark. Thank you so much for putting this.
No voucher being finished. I saw what you did. Where's the snippets?
Sorry about that. Haven't a clue what that was. It's really important that we all stay on mute in order for the event to work well. And so
right.
just again, let's try that all over again. Thank you.
All right. No problem. Sorry for the beginning. So I've been coming to these meetings literally since the first one. These are the best and tightest pitches, as Professor Dave pointed out in the chat. So I maybe there's something to this idea of these female-only pitches. These are great. So I'm here tonight on behalf of Ivy Entrepreneurs, and I'm going to make this real quick. I'm speaking to you on behalf of what is a really truly innovative mentorship-based accelerator model and an alternative to the traditional business accelerator model. The IB Entrepreneurs Cohort is an 8-week program developed by another Columbia alumnus and lecturer of entrepreneurship at Columbia University, Professor Michael McGuire. IB Entrepreneurs is specifically geared to very young startups and first-time entrepreneurs. The core program is designed to teach everything from ideation to pitch development, market valuation, business model development, fundraising, and more. And one-on-one mentoring is a huge component of the IB Entrepreneurs model. So a little bit about me. I have been in science for 20 years. I started college at 13, so don't make any assumptions about my age. I spent the first half of my career in academic science and have ever since then been in accelerators and working in life sciences and consulting. And I come to all of these events. I get approached all the time, and there are very few ventures that I really feel are worth getting behind. This is one of them. This is something that I am actually a part of. So it is a 8-week program. Our next cohort, it's very recently begun. We started our second cohort just yesterday. In fact, there are some members of this community who are also in the IB Entrepreneurs program. And it's been very successful in a very short time. A publication by the Harvard Business School estimates that since 2019, approximately 30% of all startups are in the life sciences space. So beginning June 6th will be our third cohort start date. We will start to incorporate a life sciences extension taught by me on life sciences specific grant writing and other intellectual property information specific to life sciences. I will be back here in 2 weeks at the life sciences event to promote certain merit-based scholarships that we are offering specifically to this community. And last time I came here and pitched, I got an overwhelming response of wonderful talent. So thank you very much for having me. And I'm putting the information in the chat right now, so you can look into it for yourself. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Up next is Christy.
Thank you. So I'm Christy Berg. I'm part of Wet Dog Weather, and Wet Dog Weather offers visualization of weather and sensor data. We just closed our second big product customer and our third consulting customer. So at this point, we actually have funding through 2024, but we are looking to connect to VCs, family offices, or private equity that might be interested in investing in 2024 timeframe. We do have room if someone wants to put money forward for about another 600K at the current $10 million valuation. But right now we're up and running. We just secured a contract with AWS. So we're looking forward to being a successful and growing company.
Thanks, Christy. All right, up next is Carson.
Oh, hi, everyone. It's really great to meet all of you. So I'm Carson. I'm one of the co-founders of Steps, the all-in-one app for running profitable campaigns at scale on Facebook and Instagram. And my other co-founder, Claire, is on the call as well. So prior to Steps, I started a marketing agency, Staircase Digital, back in 2017. And we had one goal in mind, to see if we could come up with a predictable methodology that anyone can use to scale their companies profitably on Facebook and Instagram. Since then, we've managed over 200 clients. We've gotten 85% of them to their stated customer acquisition goals, including creating $4 billion companies along the way. Now, the beautiful thing about having a methodology is that its logic can easily be automated into an app, which is why we created Steps. The Steps apps has all the tools necessary for anyone to follow our methodology, which centers around messaging, creative, conversion funnels, and data. And we're working on incorporating AI and machine learning to continue to ease the burden on business owners running their own campaigns. Our tools leverage our best performing guidelines for ad templates, landing page templates, even sales funnel templates. So all a user needs to do is plug and play the visuals and copy that they want to use. We've also streamlined our dashboard so that users are only focused on important business metrics, which is contrary to how Facebook Ads Manager is currently designed. As we've been building our tool over the last 2 years, we've also been creating a free online certification around our methodology that is available for anyone to take, and it's free. Our goal with the coursework is to create a community of business owners who can support each other while leveraging our methodology to run their paid social campaigns. So we're currently raising our seed round of 500K, and we have about 400K already circled. We're hoping to wrap up the last 100K within the next few weeks, and a beta version of our tool should be available for testing in early May. So if there's anyone on this call who's curious about our methodology, wants to get certified, or wants to get on our wait list, Claire's going to post those links in the chat now. If you want to chat more, you can email me at Carson@Staircase Digital, and I'll also post my LinkedIn information now. So thank you, everybody. You're all doing an amazing job.
Yeah, and great pitch. Thank you so much. Up next is Zuri.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zuri, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Beanwork. We are the first Reg CF equity crowdfunding company for women by women, and we are focused on closing the equity gap between women and men through women investors and women-owned businesses on our platform. We are pre-seed at this moment, but we are currently looking for advisors, mentors, and team members to help us prepare for our first raise. We're going to be raising up to 1 million to help with launch and getting our company's name out there. If you guys would like to connect, you can reach me at my email, which is attached to my name, or I can also provide my LinkedIn in the chat as well. If you have any questions, I would love to chat with anyone who can, maybe help us with our goal. Thank you.
Sounds like a good initiative. Thank you for pitching. Up next is Natalie.
Hi, Mark. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie Kramer, SoundSpore's COO and co-founder. SoundSpore was founded in 2021. It's a social music discovery marketplace. It's a new form of social media for music, which does not exist yet. Currently, over 99% of artists cannot make a living through music streaming royalties alone, earning on average $625 per year. For listeners, there are hundreds of millions of songs and billions of playlists out there that they have access to, meaning filtering through all of this and finding music that will resonate with them has never been more challenging. Our mission at SoundSpore is to connect the artists to their untapped fans in a space where artists can monetize their music by building their brands and interacting with their fans. Artists can sell merchandise, live stream their music, collect tips, sell concert tickets, and more, all within our platform. Users can interact with their favorite artists while also discovering, sharing, and forming new communities around the music they love. We're creating a whole new world of music by focusing on socializing music and music discovery. By sharing new music discoveries through direct messaging, posts, and user profiles all within our platform, we create a new dynamic experience for users. Showcasing music discoveries and personal music preferences and playlists all within our app allows the user to become music influencers and within their communities and within SoundSpore universe. Our specialized AI considers both social and music psychology to deliver personalized, relevant music recommendations made to expand a user's music taste. By expanding a music taste of a listener, we create a wider audience for emerging artists so that they can be discovered. Along with identifying fans for emerging artists, we also provide insight for them, such as tools and analytics for them to monetize their music and their brands within the platform. Currently, we have developed and tested the app, and we're in the process of refining the app before official launch. SoundSpore is a platform where artists and fans come together to thrive. Thank you, everyone. And if you would like to get in contact with me, I will put my information in the chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Natalie. Up next is Karen.
I'm working on it. Hang on.
You're
Can you see me?
unmuted. We got you.
Okay. So hang on one sec. All right. So climate change and global energy market disruptions are forcing industries to shift their focus to the energy crisis that's happening now. Companies are demanding renewable energy. My name is Karen O'Brien. I'm co-founder of Arctic Solar. We are manufacturing a high-temperature solar thermal panel for commercial and industrial companies using boilers or requiring thermal heat. We provide a cost-effective solar energy solution to replace fossil fuels for heating needs for up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So unlike solar electric technologies, we displace the energy used for heating in the manufacturing process. We do cooling, evaporation, and distillation, and we help to meet the greenhouse gas reduction goals and lower operating costs. What makes our technology different is that our high temperatures collect both direct and diffuse radiation, meaning that it doesn't matter if we have cloud cover. We have no moving parts, which essentially eliminates O&M costs, and it also allows for global installations. So we're definitely on the move. We are a semi-finalist in the DOE Desalination Prize and are working on the design phase of our project with Southern Company in Georgia. In addition, we've deployed systems generating steam, evaporation systems, industrial process heat systems, and our pipeline is currently growing. Arctic is focusing on the oil and gas industry and utilities to assist in cleaning up their wastewater. And of course, we are focused on manufacturers with industrial process heat needs. We're looking for $2 million and a strategic partner to help us grow our business. We're Arctic Solar and we're ready to go global.
All right, Karen. Thank you very much. Up next is Shannon.
Great platform, Mark. I love it. Thanks very much for giving me the opportunity. Hello, everyone. I'm Shannon Crespin, a co-founder of Verito Group, and I'm sure many of you are saying, what does Verito mean? Well, if you look at the Latin word verita, you'll find that it means truth. And our business is trying to bring truth and transparency to the operations of a company. We want to help clients scale their company, improve their profits, and really make smart cash allocation decisions. We do this by rolling up our sleeves and being part of the team as hands-on operators who have deep experience designing supply chains from the ground up. That's across logistics, sourcing, customer service, manufacturing, inventory planning, and IT systems, helping companies rapidly scale, or finding every wasteful penny to improve profits and cash management. We believe small growing companies need strong operators who are difficult to find in the marketplace. To provide quality operators who deliver really tangible results, we have stitched together a group of established niche operations consulting organizations and a network of talent that creates the scale, allowing us to really compete with any of the well-known consulting companies that we are all familiar with. Our experience ranges from consumer goods companies in the Silicon Valley startup space to global medical device conglomerates, offering clients access to some of the most well-rounded operators in the market. And we go beyond just traditional consulting with establishing strategies and roadmaps or process engineering or developing KPIs for continuous improvements. We have proven results, really architecting, developing, and implementing technology solutions that create transparency, improve decision-making, and reduce time and effort in execution. Our concept SaaS solutions, we believe, can be intuitive and easy to implement for small companies. If you're worried about how you're going to scale your business with limited cash or struggling to determine how to improve your profits, check out our website. It's www.veritogroup.com. If you want to learn more about our SaaS concepts, we'd love to share them with you. See if you'd like to be a seed investor to help us build these solutions to really solve several different operational challenges. Again, check us out at veritogroup.com, and I'll put the name in the chat. Thanks again, Mark.
Thank you, Shannon. Up next is Barbara.
Hi, here I am. Hi.
Hello.
Nice, so nice to be here. Thank you very much. As Mark says, what are we trying to do? We are trying to, and have been for over 20 years, with proof and validation for it, to change the nature of English itself as not awkward, unwieldy, or full of exceptions. If you've had any trouble, which everyone has, with communicating, especially in English, we have an overlay of a Latin grammar that makes us think it's too hard to write or communicate well in English. So I have discovered why people think the ways that they do in English, and an immersive experience, whether it's workshops or coaching, coming streaming. I want to give you just a taste of what that means. We're bringing the subconscious patterning of English to conscious design and engineering with no exceptions. So if I say, watch what happens in your own mind. My uncle owns a still in West Virginia. When the tax people come after him, he stills the engine, stilling his fears, hides under the still, lying very still. Still, he still runs his still next to the still life store. In nanoseconds, when you move that word from one place to another, the meaning changes instantly. Second example, what she wanted was action, but what she got was words. So the first one shows you places and spaces. The second one shows you overlapping patterns. And the third one, because what she wanted was action, but what she got was words, she quit her job. That shows you that you can flip meaning in multiple perspectives on the fly with what is already a set of subconscious 4 patterns in your mind, which you knew by ages 2 to 5. And 2 of them are your strengths, and 2 of them are your strategies. I've discovered a thought print process, which takes about 15 to 30 minutes, that we can validate or not with a writing sample, so that you then have access to a designed and engineered set of patterns in English, which you already use, cannot not use. We all think night and day, and we can't have no choice about that. I have established validations of workshops and coaching for 32 enterprise clients, thousands of individuals. And I have a patent. I have 97 to 100% expected improved communication, 7 to 10 years retention, a Forbes invitation for me to be the voice of my industry, and a group of learners in a jail environment never returned, therefore 0 recidivism. But what I wanted to do today is show you that you have already everything you need to know about communicating well and what your thinking style is and why people think differently. And if you have ever blamed yourself for struggling with communication in English, from an accident of history, there's a Latin overlay that's not your fault. I love this work. I love being here with you and Mark. I love what Meta said about all boats rise. I'm delighted and hope to hear from you.
Thanks, Barbara. We're happy to have you. Up next is Claudia.
Thanks, Mark. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm Claudia Zayford. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Evermind. I'm a psychologist and formerly a Dartmouth faculty and director of a mental health clinic. At Evermind, we envision a world where everyone has access to evidence-based mental health treatment whenever or wherever they need it. As you may know, suicide is a leading cause of death, and veterans are one of the most severely impacted groups, with over 1,300 dying monthly. Veterans are reluctant to ask for help due to concerns about privacy and stigma, and because they prefer self-reliance. When they do seek help, they face logistical barriers and the shortage of therapists. So we have a solution for them. Our digital human therapist uses AI technology developed for NASA to overcome barriers and make expert mental health treatment scalable. The therapist is displayed in hundreds of brief video and audio clips that respond to users following evidence-based protocols. It recreates the warmth, support, and the personalized guidance of a live therapist. The digital human therapist reaches those who are unable or reluctant to see a live counselor. Our MVP is FDA authorized, and it's been validated to work as well as live therapy in 5 clinical studies. It's currently in use with a public health customer that has over 1,000 patients registered who are showing 50% reduction in their depression. Our current focus is on the veteran suicide prevention. Evermind received a $250,000 award as a finalist in the VA Mission Daybreak Suicide Prevention Challenge. So our technology fits in the broader mental health digital therapeutics markets that are expected to grow to $66 billion by 2030. We're launching in the veteran beachhead market with a plan to grow our product line and expand into the adjacent private payer and global markets. We'll be opening our seed round in April to support the launch in the veteran market. And if this interests you, please reach out to learn more. I'll leave my info in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for pitching. Up next is Melissa.
Awesome, Mark. Thank you so much. And Claudia, I absolutely love what you've built. So thank you for that. What if I told you all that there's a cure for being bad with money? There is. I'm Melissa Pankos. I'm the founder and CEO of The Beans, and we're automating the finances of caring professionals like teachers and healthcare employees. And we're different from anything that you've ever seen in this space. Before this, I co-founded a venture capital fund that invests in artificial intelligence companies. And before that, I led a research team at the University of Oxford that developed the very first program proven in randomized controlled trials, that's pharmaceutical grade evidence, to reduce financial stress. At The Beans, we combine the science of what works to transform people's financial lives with proprietary data models and a smart wallet, simplifying the complex and enabling this enormous and overlooked market to make financial progress. We grow B2B in a country that spends $4.7 billion a week on lost productivity due to financial stress. And in the last 90 days, we've grown our customer base by 50%, grown revenue 155% to a deferred annual revenue of $540,000, and been granted our first patent on our novel data system. We have a 4.9 star rating from our partners and significant inked contracts. We have 84% gross margins and are a $1 in, $7 out TAC to LTV business. We'll be at $1 million in ARR and cash flow positive by the end of this year. We've previously raised $1.8 million in pre-seed capital and are backed by angel and institutional investors. We're raising $3 million and we have $700K left. You'll be investing alongside Commerce Ventures, Forward VC, the Alloy Alchemist Fund, and Techstars. If you're interested, please reach out. I'm Melissa at thebeans.io. I'll share all of this in the chat, and I can't wait to talk. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, up next is Joan.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mark. I'm very happy to have the opportunity. It's my first time to present here. Nice to meet you all. What I bring is that the product we have developed, that's a rigid demand from the market, the supply chain and the logistic demand for more than 30 years. They want the wearable scanners. However, because the current wearable device, especially the ring scanner, they are so big. They can't be called a real ring scanner. I have to see. That means we, as a GIG hardware team, we spent almost 10 years to develop a real ring scanner that's only 20 grams. Meanwhile, it can work more than 20 hours after a full change. That's because there is several serious technologies that can result in ultra low power consumption hardware. Besides the ring scanner, we've developed a wireless light indicator that can be used in picking and sorting in the warehouse. Now they use the RFID tag. It needs installation and maintenance. Sorry, yeah. So we provide the hardware, and they are very the demand. They are the dream product from the industry in the field. Let me show you. So small. My background, you can see the difference. There is a comparison from the Heckles ring scanner and the other brand. Yeah, we are looking for investor to support us to the marketing, and we are looking for CMO and software company partners to explore the market. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joan. Meet Joan in the chat. Up next is Debs.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just get the mute here going for. All right, Debs, you're up next. You're gonna have to come off mute.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Mark, for this opportunity. Very excited. I'd like to say what I am is a serial entrepreneur. I've had several exits in medical devices and 2 IPOs in medical devices. I've had others also. Very excited to work with C-Medics. And what we do is we're early warning for heart failure. Now, I don't know how many people here, but I imagine most of the hands would be raised if I said, has anyone had heart issues with friends or family? I can tell you from my own experience with my father. My father, I was 12 years old and it was his second heart attack. And I hear a crash downstairs. I woke up in the middle of the night and there is my father, 6'3", laying on the floor, clutching his chest. To make a long story short, he did live, but he spent 6 months in the hospital. Now, imagine the family disruption to having anyone in the hospital. Our objective is to make heart failure a home health problem. Everyone should have home health versus hospital hospitality. Hospital hospitality is the way everything is done now. We can tell you non-invasively, and the doctors will all say you can't do this, but after 10 years of research with Johns Hopkins, Drexel, University of Michigan, it is a 10 years developed technology. It is incredible, and it will save over 500,000 lives annually. That's how many people die. 8 billion is thrown away annually on heart failure patients. And it doesn't have to be. We can make a significant impact in this $86.2 billion market. And I've personally put in about $1 million into the company. I absolutely believe in it. I know it makes a difference. And we could use some angels. We do have a $20 million lead investor with 8 million circled to close after the summer. But we are looking for, we have about $1 million left in our seed round, and we'd love to have you on board. Let's see if there's anything else. It is a worldwide play, and we are focused worldwide in many countries already. We have representatives in Europe, and we're really going to change the way cardiology is managed and help me save the lives. I need a few angels, and I'd be very grateful, and we will have a worldwide impact. Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate it.
I like what you're doing. I'd actually like to meet you privately about it and understand it better. Just someone on my team can reach out to you. Thank you, Debs. Up next is Karen.
Hey there, Mark. Hi, everybody. I'm Karen Frame. I'm a 3-time founder and CEO of Makina. We're a B2B SaaS platform where we focus on the growing $300 billion natural products industry. Through our app, consumers can engage with brands that manufacture products that meet either their dietary needs or lifestyle preferences anywhere they like to shop, and earn cash and rewards after they do that. In exchange, brands and retailers and others get extremely valuable data about their consumers, who's buying what, where they're buying them, what else is in the basket, helping them save millions of dollars on fragmented data and data scientists. We're generating revenue, have over 200,000 registered shoppers for 4,500 products, have collected over 200,000 receipts from 40,000 retailers all across the US and Canada. In 2023, we anticipate generating over $2 million in revenue because we signed a new partnership agreement with the largest data aggregator in the natural product space. It's valued at over $25 million over the next 3 years, and there are a lot of other opportunities for us in the horizon with companies like Natural Grocers, Klarna, and MasterCard. So we've raised $600,000 in our pre-seed round, and we're currently raising $3 million on a $15 million valuation with over $2 million of significant VC interest. And we are looking for our lead investor. So we'd love for you to join us as both an advisor investor as we build Makina into a household name and help people lead healthier lives on a cleaner planet. So my email address is below. Thanks.
Great pitch. Thank you so much. Up next is Sujanya. I apologize if that wasn't accurate.
No problem, Mark. Thank you for the opportunity. It's a wonderful forum. I'm the founder and CEO of My B2B Network. It's a marketplace and lead generation platform. We help business owners to figure out suitable provider in the market, as well as strong and highly qualified lead generation. These are the solutions were derived from the two biggest problems every business is facing. One is outsourcing and the other one is lead generation. We have simplified the process of outsourcing as at every stage of the company, they have to outsource some or the other services. So what we do is we take the complete requirement from the businesses and we send that to all our registered providers. They all will submit quotations for the requirements we get. So that the providers will also get the highly qualified leads so that they have the privilege to submit quotation for the complete requirement we get. I will be putting my details in the chat. Thank you. If anybody is interested, please feel free to reach out to me.
All right. Thank you for the pitch. Up next is Monica.
Hi, everyone. So nice to be a part of this group tonight. It's really a great forum. So thank you so much, Mark, for arranging. This is the second company I have founded, And it actually was a result of problems I was experiencing with my clients in my first company. So decided to tackle it because no one else did. We're sitting in the $133 billion US wine and spirits sector on the enterprise side. So this is all B2B. And PACE is my solution for one of the most challenging problems in the global wine and spirits trade, which is the extreme consolidation of this legacy industry in the US wine and spirits sector. Essentially, we are experiencing a scenario where we have two giant players and we have no route to market for brands. And at the same time, we're seeing immense innovation and explosion of brands, domestic and global. So the US is the #1 wine and spirits market in the world by value and by volume. And that means there has to be a solution because the problem just keeps presenting itself. So what we did was we launched in March of 2020, had our first meeting, raised 2.5 million. We got our first tranche on March 3rd, and then the rest of the capital evaporated about a week later. Fantastic as that was, here we are 3 years later, and I have to say, in a combination of having raised friends and family, 1.3 million, combined with some very aggressive bootstrapping, we've layered a licensed infrastructure into the marketplace. What you all wine lovers may not realize is that every state has its own particular regulatory framework. So we have 50 states, 50 regulatory bodies, as if we were dealing with 50 countries. There's no open trade for this. And so we have tackled that. We have 20 states of licensing in place with 16 pending. We will complete all 50. So the infrastructure itself will have incredible value. We've opened up Canada. We're a licensed importer and agent in all 10 provinces. So we are now with a complete North American footprint by the end of this year. Currently, we're raising 2.5 million in a seed round. And we're in negotiations with some industry players, but really looking to move on that at this time. And so we're very interested in speaking with venture funds that would have an interest in the beverage alcohol space. From a diversified investment standpoint, I can tell you global markets go down, wine and spirits go up. Global markets go up, wine and spirits go higher. So from a risk perspective, it doesn't get any better. Just the way I built the business framework, I had de-risked it. And I built this in 2018 while I was part of Goldman Sachs' Small 10,000 Business Program. That's where I built the growth opportunity. And I looked at the marketplace and I always felt that on-premise had certain risks attached to it. And sure enough, we saw during COVID with the global shutdowns that came to pass. So we've always been aligned to about 90% off-premise sales. And that's our direction. We work with national, regional, and local chain accounts, grocery, major buyers, 17 control state where the government does the purchasing, and the US military. We also are in travel retail, which is now starting to pick up. Lastly, we are WBNC certified. We're one of the only ones in the space. So that means corporate and government purchasing is looking favorably on our licensing in that regard. So we expect to see that really generate momentum for our brands going forward. So that is PACE. And I'm happy to talk to anyone that's interested in exploring further.
Thanks, Monica. Up next is Melanie.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Mark, and for organizing this, and thank you everyone that's pitched today. It's been a wonderful event so far. So my name's Melanie, and I'm the founder of a startup called Outside Meditation. And we are really aiming to tackle well-being and mental health. 1 in 3 Americans experience extreme stress. I myself started this business because I experienced extreme anxiety, burnout after several years of corporate marketing. And I really led to both feeling physically and mentally unwell. So I went down a path of recovery, and I'm here to share my story, and I'm here to share what I've learned along my own well-being journey. This is where Outside Meditation was born. I want to create, and we are creating, nature-based mindfulness immersive experiences. So we're an experiential company that's not tech-based, but really aiming to create large-scale mindfulness experiences as well as nature-based meditation sessions. So we have a proprietary nature-based certification, as well as have already created a large-scale pop-up here in the Phoenix area, where our headquarters is in Phoenix, but we're looking to scale aggressively across the nation. Our secret sauce is really about connecting with the environment and connecting with the community that we've curated. So our services include experiences that are really large scale. They're in unique locations, and they feature several partners and sponsors. We also have a B2B product that we partner with several organizations that we already have large scale partnerships with, such as for corporate wellness, resorts, recovery centers, as well as gyms and country clubs. We really are in this $464 billion US and pop-up experience market that's only growing by the day. We see large scale brands everywhere that are really trying to tap into this market to really help and aid well-being, and especially looking at mindfulness and meditation. We are right now pre-seed, but looking to bring on, would love to speak with potential investors and advisors for the future, and really looking to add on a strategic advisor, additional strategic advisor to our team. Would love to speak with anyone from this group that's interested. Wanted to keep it brief today, but happy to send over a deck or other information. I already have my information in the chats, but just wanted to say thank you again, and we're happy to connect further.
Thank you, Melanie. Before Christine starts, I just want to remind everybody, Professor Dave is going to be doing something here shortly. Hopefully you can all stick around to the very end. Up next is Christine. You're on mute. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Good evening, everybody. Everybody's been really wonderful so far. And Mark, this is a great platform. I think this is my second time presenting since you launched. I am the creator and founder of SPED Connect. I'm not sure what everyone's familiarity is with special education, but currently in the US, there are over 7.5 million students, which leaves over 10 million parents navigating the system. Currently, an unmet need, SPED Connect is an education and life management platform for parents navigating special education. Our solution actually bridges the gap for parents, gives them complete organization. We have a market of also a provider directory, and so it's a multi-tiered investment or a company with revenue streams, multi-tiered revenue streams. Our providers have been selected. We are in our design and build right now. We are seeking up to $1.2 million to complete that. Let us hire talent, get us fully launched, and bringing in revenue. We are also looking for a CFO. We have ambassadors that are going to be joining us in celebrity to help get the marketing out, and we're ready to launch. So we're looking for an investor that has a heart for children, has a heart for impact, but also wants to make a lot of money. So if you'd like to reach out to me at Christine@spedconnect.io, I would love to pick up the conversation after.
Okay, Christine, thank you. Up next is Jody. I see Jody's picture twice actually on my screen, but go ahead, Jody.
Hi, Mark. Thank you. Yes, I'm here twice. Technical insurance.
Okay.
Thanks for having me, and so great to be part of this group and all these awesome, powerful women. Thanks for all these great pitches. Well, I'm here to say that most of us are in business to make money. So who would just give money away for no reason at all? Well, commercial property owners do just that, to the tune of hundreds of thousands to hundreds of millions per year. Do you know that after transportation, hotels and multifamily units are the highest draws of energy on the power grid? Here's a sobering fact. A 100-room property uses the same amount of energy as 1,000 homes in 1 year. With energy being the second highest cost and continuing to skyrocket, all these properties are doing are lining the pockets of their utility companies. There are very few options to upgrade and modernize aging commercial properties that don't require expensive and extensive renovations. Until now. I'm Jody Darros, co-founder of PropTech innovation company Circ Plus, a family of intelligent automation and robotic systems, reducing energy costs and lowering carbon emissions with plug-and-play technology. We're helping properties put the profit back into their pocket and finally step into the 21st century with a unified platform. If we look at just one vertical, our patented enterprise smart room platform is an affordable, retrofittable solution that installs in 60 minutes or less with no downtime or lost revenue, which helps reduce energy costs by up to 40%. Our team of rock stars have developed over 300 technology solutions, resulting in billions of revenue for others. Now it's time to make billions for our company, our team, our investors, some of whom may be in this room today. And we have multiple revenue sources that diversifies our business and our growth. We're generating revenue. We've secured 6 major method and utility patents. We have a global pipeline and a deep innovation roadmap. We're positioning to exit in 3 to 5 years through acquisitions through any number of verticals. We've raised $2.7 million to date. We're currently in a pre-A series $3 million round with $500,000 committed from a large family fund as the lead, so it's an easy deal to enter. Contact me today to discover how Circ Plus is more than just an AI technology. It's a solution for a sustainable future. I will put my information in the chat, but also, depending on which frame you're looking at, my email is underneath below.
We see it, and it's a great pitch, and these products are outstanding. I've taken a look at them, so get in touch with Jody, everybody. Up next is somebody called Business Squared LLC. I hope you're a woman founder. I don't know what your name is. We'll give you a chance to open up your video, but if you don't open quick, oh, there you go.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hello. Hello, everybody, and happy Women's Month. Thank you, Mark, so much for doing this. My name is Dee Sherrill. I am
Hold on. We've got some background noise going. I just got to try and, in fact, I'm going to mute everybody for 1 second, just so with so many people in the room, it's hard. Okay, now can you unmute yourself again? Just do your pitch. Sorry about that.
Hi there. We good to go?
Yes, I think so, hopefully.
Okay, amazing. So hello, everyone. Happy Women's Month, and thank you, Mark, so much for this platform and opportunity. My name is Dee Sherrill, and I am the CFO and founder of Business Squared LLC. I have been running this company for the last 6 years, and my goal has been to help to serve the underrepresented founders space. There are about 2 million Black businesses, and about 0.2 million of them have employees. So the goal of the company has been to close the wealth gap in underrepresented companies and helping these founders to be able to tell their financial story, be prepared to present their financial modeling, understand their business, the credit development processes, and just overall be a confident and more courageous founder who can tell investors, banks, grants, accelerators, incubators, and all of these different spaces exactly how to articulate what is financially happening in their company. And so we have been serving as an interim CFO for a beauty tech company. We helped raise over $500,000, and we've been working nonstop since then, working with other companies, doing business financial planning, interim CFOing, and just really just plugging into different startup companies and helping them with their financial vision and foundation. And so we are open to building our clientele more. We are looking right now at partnering with some banks for financial acceleration. And overall, our goal is to make sure that 5,000 underrepresented founders have business financial plans and can articulate them and speak to them. So if you're interested in adding value to underrepresented founders and helping underrepresented founders to be able to articulate their financial story, please connect with me. We have done about $50,000 in sales so far, and we're just growing, and we're looking to get good business advisors in our circle, and we're looking for investment to help us to grow our team and to also create our brand awareness. So that's all I have for you all. I'll drop my information down in the chat below, and thank you so much, Mark.
Great. All right. Up next, I don't know your name, but you're under cocarding.com.
Hello, my name is Emo. I'm the founder. Thank you, Mark, for this opportunity. I'm really excited. You know, it's hard for not nervous, you know. Okay. So it's a pleasure to meet all the founders, female founders in here. I feel like it's big support and support each other, right? So have you ever think why we have to shop online alone, including Walmart, Amazon, and so many other sites? And that is why I created a co-carding, because I want to, you know, friends and family be able to shop together. And online shoppers now share product links, screenshots. Probably you all done that, especially women, you know. And I make this so much easier. And you invite your friends into your cart without me share your passwords, without me share your payment system, but you'll be able to shop together, chatting, add products, have fun, all in one platform. So far, we have Walmart, we have Amazon, we have more than 400 million products all add together. We have partners up to 300, and our market value, like market size, is about $12 billion for 2023. So far, we successfully raised 150,000 pre-seed, and we have full-time, like me, I'm full-time, and I have a co-founder, also full-time. I'm really excited, you know, to change the e-commerce shop for our special women, right? We like to shop together, you know, asking opinions. This definitely make a game changer. So I'm here to looking for advisors and investors, and also I'm looking for female, like support me, check out our website and join in and give me feedback. I would love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Up next is Chloe.
Hi, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Chloe. I'm the founder and CEO of EmoteWell, an AI and research-powered journal for well-being. The mental wellness market is a $121 billion industry, and yet people are not feeling better. 73% of Americans feel anxious or depressed a few times a week, and workplace stressors cost the US $180 billion per year. I was actually one of those people and saw many different solutions that didn't work for me. That's why I wanted to create EmoteWell, is to make a mental wellness solution that actually works. EmoteWell is an AI and research-powered journal designed to improve well-being. We provide research-backed solutions in real time to help you face everyday challenges, develop resilience, and create lasting happiness. Journaling has been seen in psychology research to provide powerful benefits in a short amount of time. 15 minutes of writing a self-compassionate letter, for example, has been linked to lower anxiety, stress, depression, as well as improved work performance. On top of these journaling benefits, we also use machine learning to deeply understand our users and to provide unique analytics and recommendations that fit your exact needs. We're currently testing our MVP with hundreds of users and have gotten great product feedback. In addition, we're running a pilot with Wing Assistant where they're investing in their employee well-being as a strategic priority. We're disrupting the mental wellness space, starting with the $20 billion corporate wellness market, and have an active pipeline with technology businesses. We're looking to raise $700,000 to build out our product team, including engineers, designers, and a product manager. And if you're interested in investing or partnering with us, please feel free to reach out directly to me, and I look forward to connecting.
Great. It sounds very promising. Thank you so much. Up next is Rachel.
Hey, good evening, everybody. How you doing? I am the founder and CEO of Trust Elevate. So we are on the cusp of what Google describes as an age-aware internet, right? Platforms is a raft of regulations globally that require social media, gaming, edtech, search, fintech banks to know the ages of their users. It's easy to age check somebody who's over 18, but until now it's been the unsolvable problem. How do you age verify somebody under the age of 18? And for young kids, how do you verify when somebody says, I'm the parent of that child? So Trust Elevate, that's what we do. We solve that unsolvable problem of verifying under 18's ages and under 13's. Those kids are deemed to be below the age of being able to give digital consent to data processing. So we solve that problem. We've been described as the next billion-dollar business. I'm the technical author of the foundational age assurance tech standard, which has been will be published by the international standards, the ISO organization, right? And we've got a process patent pending. So we're a SaaS B2B reg tech. 1 in 3 users online is below the age of 16. The TAM is 3.8 billion. Our pricing, we run checks for data controllers, the likes of Google, Meta, at 25p per annum. Each data processor in a contractual relationship with a data controller, they also need to get informed explicit consent to data processing. So we're currently raising 2.5 million in a Series A. So we're a high volume transaction business. We've got traction. We're working with Google, a company called Exola, and companies that are developing for the metaverse and working with Meta. We enable digital onboarding of child and teen bank accounts also. So our business is applicable to every single business that processes children's data. We've got an incredibly strong team. My PhD is investigating pedophile activity on the internet. And so we're a for-profit, purpose-led company. Our mission is to help create a safer internet for children and young people so that the kids' experiences online are age appropriate. I've also I've helped to operationally build Bebo, a social networking site, which is acquired by AOL. So we're currently raising 2.5 million. By the end of next year, our revenue will be 19 million. And I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to present tonight. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks. A great idea for a business. I haven't heard that one before. Excellent. Next up is Zara.
Hello, Mark, and hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Zara Himashian, the CSO and co-founder of Marvel Bio, the world's first generative AI protein drug discovery company based out of the Bay Area. How many of you know someone who died of cancer due to the lack of an effective treatment? That is how I lost my dad and how millions of others are losing their loved ones. Sadly, that's largely because of the extremely expensive, inefficient, and lengthy drug discovery process that leads to a 95% clinical failure rate. At Marvel Bio, with our domain expert team and our proprietary and leading AI platform coupled with our wet lab capabilities, we slashed the time and cost of drug discovery by more than 10x and significantly increase its success rate. We have a huge market with a sum of over $70 billion. We have validated our business model by talking and interviewing biopharma companies, many of which are interested in using our patent pending technologies that we have developed self-funded during the past 3 years. So we have not been diluted, and we have also de-risked our technology. We are raising a $2.8 million seed financing to complete 2 major milestones and start generating revenue. If you're interested in helping patients and being a part of the next game-changing disruptive technologies, Marvel Bio is a perfect opportunity for you. I hope you consider joining us. I will put my contact information in the chat, and if you're interested in learning more about our company and joining us as both investor and advisor to take our venture to the next step, please reach out to me. Thank you so much again for the opportunity.
Thanks, Zara. Up next is Lori with one of my favorite companies that has come to Venture Starters since we got started. Great to have you back, Lori. You're on mute still. There you go.
Good to see you. So I'm excited to be here and to talk about Modvans for a few minutes. And I kind of have a different perspective than my co-founder. So I'm going to pitch it my way. And so what I want to ask is, do you guys realize that spending time outdoors improves your mental and physical health? And it also strengthens relationships. So there are a lot of benefits to getting outdoors. And we build a great adventure van that will take you outdoors. So with Modvan's multipurpose vehicle, happiness, joy, and adventure are yours for the taking every day. Modvans is an innovative, award-winning, and certified Class B RV manufacturer. We sell direct to consumers on our website, www.modvans.com. We launched in 2017 with a website and some $5 Craigslist ads. And since then, we've grown from 4 people in a 2,500 square feet building like 1 model to today we're in a 22,000 square foot space with 30 employees, and we have 6 models. So we're disrupting the Class B RV industry with our industry-leading innovation and technology, such as we offer the biggest battery and the largest solar capacity in any production RV. We've grown, well, I talked about how we grew, but we sell on our website direct. You can actually go and build out your van, but we have countless people kind of abandon their shopping carts when they see how long the wait is. So even though we're growing, we're not done. We want to build vans for everybody who wants them. We want to build our awesome vans for everybody, and our immediate growth goals are to grow to 100 vans per month. Right now, we're at about 8, and we also want to add a full electric RV into our lineup, but that's going to take a lot of money for R&D, which we've already started, so we want to continue that. But right now, we have a Reg D offering for accredited investors that's open until we launch our upcoming Reg A campaign. And I'm also looking for some talented people. If you're interested in working for a cool RV manufacturer, please reach out. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everybody. And I love the women that pitch thing. Thanks for doing that.
Me too. And Modvans' products are awesome. Go to modvans.com, and they have like a 2-year waiting list, and they just need the funding to just grow. Their products are awesome. So those of you in the audience that are investors and connected to really deep pools of money, please reach out to Lori. Up next is Sahar.
Hi, Mark. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I feel honored, seriously. Never been in this kind of event with so many bright women, so I feel honored to be here tonight. So I am sure all of you have heard of Alzheimer's disease, and you know someone who is suffering from Alzheimer's dementia. Currently, there are almost 7 million people in the US suffering from Alzheimer's dementia. By 2050, that number will rise to 12.7 million people right in US. And by 2050, that number on the global scale will be 152 million people. What does that mean? That means 152 million people around the globe does not know who they are, their loved ones, what they have done in the past. They have been a founder of a big company. They have achieved their goals. So that is where the problem is coming from. I'm a research neuroscientist. I am the director and founder of my cognitive neuroscience lab, and also founder, CEO, and inventor of Cognitrain. Cognitrain is a neuroscience-based ecosystem helping Alzheimer's dementia patient through a SaaS-based software as medicine and smart wearable devices. Our app has been launched. We are in the process of getting FDA approval and also clinical trial. So if you know anyone who are in the early stage, I'll put my email address. We are seeking FDA approval, class 1 exam, software as medicine. Our SaaS-based platform is going to be provided by B2C directly to the consumers, $50 per month, and B2B to the senior livings and memory care center, $40 per month per user. And for B2B to C, we are selling the licensing as we are getting offer from UK to launch Cognitrain UK, $30 per month per user, and that's going to give them the proprietary licensing. So by 2025, if 10% of people who are English and Spanish speakers in the US sign up for our platform, we are going to anticipate our earning will be $340 million. And on the global scale, just 1% of people who are suffering from Alzheimer's dementia will be our users minus US will be another $340 million. So I'm on a mission to help these patients, not only with the software. We are hoping with the money that we raise, we'll launch our wearable devices, which are all based on patents. So my whole mission as building an ecosystem is not only to help with the decline through the app, but also providing care and support to the patients and their caregivers. I'm currently on the pre-seed stage. So far, I have bootstrapped my startup. I just opened for funding, and I'm looking for a lead investor who will be willing to have her or him skin in our platform and will be mission driven as we are. Thank you so much.
I hope you succeed. It's a really important topic to all the dementia. I would be interested in seeing your pitch deck. I'm just out of curiosity. All right, up next is Nock, who I don't know why you're here, but Nock and I sit on a board together. I'm so curious to hear what you're pitching tonight.
Well, I invited Sahara here.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
That's why I wanted to connect her to your network.
Well, I'm really interested in the topic. Alzheimer's is personal to my family. We've lived through this, so we know this topic very well, and we'd like to see it's resolved in whatever ways possible. So thank you for the introduction.
It will be my honor to pitch you, Mark. So thank you, Nock. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thanks to both of you.
Well, that's right. So for me is, Mark and I work on another advisory board, but my background is I'm a certified public accountant, former Ernst & Young auditor, debt and wealth coach, and impact speaker and international bestselling author. And I also have a TV show called The Paradigm Shifters. So I'm a CEO of my own company, JJ Capital Partners, and I'm also a fractional CFO for several companies, Cancer Research and helping Sahara with her company. I believe financial literacy is really the key to financial freedom and time freedom. And I'm here on a mission to empower people to understand their financial health and help them make money, save money, protect their money, and eliminate debt. So when I walked away in June of 2021 from a corporate job, I felt like there is a huge gap in the financial education, financial literacy. And so I am, creating financial literacy program in the Bay Area, helping families bridge that gap that's been missing and solve the debt crisis. So for me, I'm here to really educate anyone who needs help in their business to understand and bridge that gap in understanding. Because a lot of us as business owners don't see it. We only see a portion of our business and we don't connect the dot. So in my personal experience, I have about 20 companies that I've gone building my own 20 companies. Now I have 8+ companies that I created since I left in June of 2021. So I teach everything from financial literacy to companies, cash flow budgets, really understanding the whole process and connecting the dots for people, because a lot of people who do business don't understand all the connections of what it is to run a business. So that's why I'm here and bring Sahara here just helping more people understand business and bridging that gap. So anyone who's interested in connecting, I'm here to help.
Knock is
How do we find
amazing.
you on LinkedIn?
I'm
How
sorry.
do we find you on LinkedIn? I see several people with the same name.
I
Is there
know.
a company I can type next to your name?
Yes, I'll put it in the chat.
Please do. Yeah. I mean, and Duran, you really want to meet Knock. She's fantastic. Okay.
I can see
move
Mark.
on, though. Okay. So up next is we're going to finish. I have 3 more. We're going to go through those relatively quickly, and then we're going to do Professor Dave. I hope all of you will still stick around. Up next is Dina. You're on mute still, though. There you go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Dina Scott Dady. I'm the founder of Queen Lady Nails, Queen Lady Nails with a twist. I'm here to prevent cancer, skin cancer, with a new revised machine that I created. The machine that I created is different from the one that's existing today. But I'm here to let everybody know it's going to be a B2B, B2C business. The machine will be in Target, QVC, Amazon, and so forth. I'm here to let everybody know cancer is a big issue, and I want to prevent as many people as possible in the nail industry. When you put your hand under the UV light, there are a lot of hands that are not being protected. So the UV light is going directly on the skin, causing mutation of the cells. There's also causing skin aging, and some people that don't know that they have a skin infection, it even makes it worse for their hands. We got school-age kids now that are going into these salons, getting their pretty nails done and not knowing that ultraviolet light is very serious. That's why we use sunscreen for the sun, for the ultraviolet light in the sun. So I'm here to let everybody know that I created a machine to prevent this from happening. And it is a patent pending, which will be coming out in June. I'm so excited. And I just wanted everybody to know I'm here to prevent that word cancer. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Dina. All right. Up next is somebody whose name there's no way I'm going to even get close to pronouncing. And maybe you can just open up your video and tell us who you are. And I apologize.
Hi, I'm Ilak. And
are you able to put your video on?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Please. Thank you. We're a visual event. Go ahead.
So my startup is Bubbles and Cafe, and it's basically a smart AI smart restaurant. I do have a patent pending for smart restaurant powered by cloud native IoT iOS with fully automated contactless food preparation, ordering, and vending. So basically, like here at Bubbles and Cafe, we prioritize sustainability and reducing the environmental impact. So the top goals are basically like to use AI and just remove high labor cost and increase safety in the restaurant, and create a lot of problems that the restaurant industry face today, like high labor cost and order errors and long waiting times and inaccuracies and inefficiencies in creating the food and food safety problems because of contamination. So we can solve all that with the use of AI. And also we can create personalized and efficient and sustainable dining experiences and remove food waste, reduce food waste, and improve food safety. So the goal is to use AI and IoT technologies and empower the restaurant industry. And we do have a patent pending for it, and I'm planning to do more patents. So I'm seeking seed funding for anywhere from 100K to 1 million. So this funding would be basically used for research and creating more patents, developing more patents, and also more development in deep tech, food tech, and AI and IoT technologies, and also we will be paving the way for future development in STEM fields too.
Okay. Well, the restaurant industry definitely could use efficiency. So good luck with the AI. Our last pitch is Phyllis.
Yes. This is Phyllis again. Can you hear me? Phyllis.
I'm kind of, yes. Are you trying to do this on a telephone or there? I'm having background.
Yes. Hold on.
Oh. I think part of the, wait. I don't know that that's gonna work, but hold on.
All right. I spoke Monday. I hope you can hear me. And
Yes.
we're growing rapidly. I posted a job description for board advisors and consultants. I have some offers on the table, and I've reconnected with the Department of State Foreign Service and have a publication reaching over 8,000 embassies. So anyone that's interested in working with me, sharing their advice and growing, please give me a call. I put my LinkedIn in the chat. There's a new telemedicine.
Phyllis, we're having a little.
Sounds very interesting, especially for aging senior citizens and those with challenges, like Mark mentioned, Alzheimer's. So contact. Oh,
We're just running into a few technical problems there with you that hear it as well. Maybe next week you can come back. We can at least make sure that your audio is working better. Sorry about that. I want to move now to Professor Dave, and let's see. I need to keep everybody on mute so we can do this properly. So one of the things I'd like to introduce to our community is education and ideas. And Professor Dave is a real educator at the university level. He's been teaching entrepreneurship. Today, he's going to give us another short little presentation, things that we might want to think about, and there'll be an opportunity for a short Q&A afterwards. So if any of you would like to stick around, that would be fantastic. For those of you who can't, for whatever reason, I just want to say Women's Founder Night was fantastic. I think this was one of the best events we've ever done, and I look forward to doing this again every 4 weeks. I'm so happy we had so many women founders to fill up an entire night. This was just epic, and I'm really pleased. So Professor Dave, you're up next.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, this is hard to follow. As I've mentioned in chat a couple of times, the women tonight have been amazing. It's like if this has been like the pitches like all around, I wouldn't have needed to give the lesson last week on how to pitch. So as I said, this has been really great. I'm going to try and go really quick. I know it's getting late. I do like to cheat and use some slides because I don't know, it's just as a professor for so long, I can't help it. Anyway, so I'm Professor Dave. I've been teaching entrepreneurship for 20 years. You can connect with me. I'll put stuff in chat. But tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about competitors. Preface, I come at things from a very different perspective than most people. So you'll get a very different perspective. It's not going to be necessarily what investors are looking for, but it's what I believe from research and teaching and all that, that I think is important. So first, competitive analysis, the goal of it is to find your market positioning. So your goal here is to figure out where is it you fit in the market. It's not to see what others are doing and, you know, say how you are better. It is a point, but that's not the goal. The goal is to find your positioning. The big thing that I pitch that's different than what most people will say about competition is don't use the word competition. Use the word alternatives. One thing I see all the time when people say talk about their competition, they talk about other companies that are like them. But think about it in terms of what it is you are competing for. You're competing for customers. Customers don't care what your company looks like, how it's structured, all that kind of stuff. What they care about is what is the benefit they're getting from buying what you're selling. So think about what you sell from the customer's perspective. If you take nothing else from what I say today, take that. Competition is the wrong word. Use the word alternatives. Yes, when you do your pitches, use the word competition because that's what the investors and everybody will expect. But think about it as alternatives. That is, your competition is whatever the customer has as a choice to meet the need of whatever it is you're trying to fulfill. All their choices. That includes not doing it, doing it themselves. I've used examples when I was teaching of like Uber. The competition is not rental cars. The competition is other ways to get from point A to point B in a city. So Uber's competition is walking, cars, a bus, public transportation, etc. Right? Those are the actual alternatives. So understanding what it is that you're selling, the primary benefit, will help you then figure out your customers, your competition, and vice versa. So I've used this last week. Keep it super simple. When you're competing in a marketplace, you only have to be better at one thing that matters to enough customers. Enough customers means that you have enough people that are willing to pay you a premium for what you sell, that'll keep cash flow coming in so that you're staying in business. It's just got to be one thing. You don't need and shouldn't try to capture the entire market. Nobody starts out with the entire market. Okay, you can work on that later, but start with where you have your biggest strength. So just be better at one thing that matters to customers. And those people who care the most about that one thing are going to buy from you. So I'm really a fan of Blue Ocean strategy. I'm not going to get into it. You can read about it online. But one of the things that they have is they call the strategy canvas. If you go to like HubSpot, I was looking at that earlier just to see what's out there. They have their competition scorecard. It's basically the same thing. The basic idea here is that you look at what are the various different benefits of products that are similar to, or services that are similar to yours, and then rate them on a scale. And the scale should be something objective, as much as you can, and find that one thing that you are better at. And don't try to fool yourself and everybody else and say you're better at everything. Nobody will believe that, right? There's always compromise, right? To be better at one thing, you're not going to be so good at other things. So I recommend using Blue Ocean strategy, using the strategy canvas. And the benefit of that is it'll help you trim away some of the excess that you have, because that's one of the big problems that founders have, especially from a technical background. It's like, oh, we can add this and we can add that and we can add this and we can add that. And oh, somebody might want to buy this and somebody might want to buy that. And all of a sudden you have a monstrosity that's going to cost you too much and nobody's going to buy. That's why I like keep it super simple. Do one thing better and then expand later, right? I don't have the links in here, but you can search for it online. Blue Ocean strategy, strategy canvas, or go to HubSpot and look. You can download 10 free templates for competitor analysis. One of them is a scorecard. And it basically just will help you identify. and that's it. I think I kept it under 5 minutes. Like I said, if anything you take away from tonight, competition, think about it from a customer perspective. Think about it, an analogy might be thinking about it as animals mating, right? The men are going to be doing whatever they can to attract the female, right? The focus is on the female, not on the other males, right? What I see very often in business and entrepreneurs is the focus on the other males, not on what you're trying to get, which is the customer. So,
Okay.
there we go.
Anybody have any comments on Professor Dave's suggestions?
Awesome, thank you.
Anybody else?
Very helpful, much appreciated. Thanks, Professor Dave. Great job, Mark.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great
Professor
advice.
Dave.
Thank you.
That was fantastic.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one.
Thank
All
you.
right, so I would just love it if all the women who are still here would turn their cameras back on for one moment and wave, so I can just get everybody's waving into the system here recorded, and maybe use some of this in the future for advertising and promotions, especially now for Women Founders Night. I hope we're going to be able to do this again in 4 weeks. Please come back. Next week is just an open to everybody event. And then 2 weeks from now is life sciences. And if you're a life science founder, please come back for that event and tell your friends about what we're doing. And please help everybody in our community. This is a networking event, networking community. You all are awesome. It was amazing to hear all these founders tonight. Thank you all. Have a great week. We'll see you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Bye,
Nice to meet
everybody.
you all.
Great to
Find
see
me on
everybody.
LinkedIn.
Can I send the market back to you, Mark?